Well, hey everybody, Mr. Reeves back with you, and today I'm going to be working on some 7th grade math skills from IXL. Specifically, let's scroll on down to one variable inequalities. And I'm going to go ahead and work with some problems from section T here, one variable inequalities, 4, 5, and 6. So let's, without delay, go ahead and get started. Here we go. T4, solving one step inequalities. All right, so if we take a look at this first one, we've got 4g is greater than or equal to 8. Remember, 4g means 4 times g. Well, the inverse of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4, and we're going to get g is greater than or equal to 2. G is greater than or equal to 2, so I'm going to go ahead and type that in. G is greater than or equal to 2. Submit that and head on to the next problem. All right, the next problem we've got is n plus 1 is less than or equal to 6. Again, the inverse of adding 1 is subtracting 1. I'm going to go ahead and do that to both sides. And I'm going to get n is less than or equal to 5. All right, n is less than or equal to 5. All right, so remember, if they add, we subtract. If they multiply, we divide, and vice versa. Of course, let's jump up to the next level. All right, 2n is greater than negative 4. All right, 2n is greater than negative 4. Okay, they multiplied by a positive 2. So we're going to divide by a positive 2. Now remember, when we multiply or divide by a negative, we have to reverse the inequality sign. But we are not dividing by a negative, we're dividing by a positive. All right, so we get n is greater than negative 2. N is greater than negative 2. Look at that, would you? We are awesome. All right, let me skip up and see if they can throw some negatives at us here. Well, no, not yet. Here we've got 18 is greater than 2h. Now remember, if you watch my other video, I like to have the variable on the left side, so I'm going to flip this around. I flip the entire thing around, and I get 2h instead of being greater. 2h is less than 18. Okay, so then I'm going to divide both sides by 2 and get h is less than 9. If you had not done that, you could still divide by both sides by 2, and you would get 9 is greater than h. Both of these are correct, but when you go to make the graph, this one's a little easier to graph. So we're going to say that we are looking for h is less than 9. H is less than 9. All right. Well, I'm hoping they're going to throw a negative. No negative there. Let me jump up then and see if when we get to the challenge zone, they're going to throw a negative at us. No, they're throwing a decimal at us. All right. Well, again, they multiplied, so we would divide. Well, we did not come across any. I'm somewhat disappointed that they did not give us any where we had to multiply or divide by a negative, because if you have to multiply or divide by a negative, you must reverse the inequality sign. All right, well, let's just go on to the next skill then. M plus 2 is less than 10. So now they want us actually to solve it and graph it. So m plus 2 is less than 10. What am I going to do? I'm going to subtract 2 from each side, and I'm going to get m is less than 8. Well, m is less than 8 is going to be an open circle, right? And it's going to go that way. So all the values that make this inequality true are values that are less than 8. So I'm going to go to 8, and I'm going to go this way. Now notice, though, I'm not going to have a closed circle. I want an open circle because it does not equal it. It's simply less than it. All right, so what do we have here? We have n divided by 4 is less than or equal to 2. So they're dividing. So what do we need to do? We need to multiply both sides by 4, and we're going to get n is less than or equal to 8. Okay, so again, we have a less than, but we also have the equal to. So when I graph this one and I go there, I want a closed circle, and there we have it. N is less than or equal to 8. That will make that inequality true. All right, let's skip up to the next level, see what they have for us there. All righty, k plus 9 is less than or equal to 12. Not really any more challenging. They are adding 9. So what are we going to do? We're going to subtract 9 from both sides, and we're going to get k is less than or equal to 3. K is less than or equal to 3. So again, I'm going to go to 3. I'm going to make it a closed circle because that has an equal, and less than is going to take me that way. All right. Again, wondering if they're going to give us any with negatives. Well, it has a negative, but if you take a look at this one, negative 24 is greater than or equal to 3g. And the variable's on the right, so I'm going to recommend to flip the whole thing around. So when I do that, I get 3g instead of greater than or equal to, I get less than or equal to negative 24. So we have a negative, but for us, we're going to divide by 3 because they multiplied by 3. So since we divided by a positive, we do not need to switch it. And we get g is less than or equal to negative 8. All right. G is less than or equal to, so it has a closed circle on there, less than or equal to negative 8. All right, jump up. Nope, it's not going to let us jump up anymore. So let's jump over to the next skill. All right, word problems. Here we go. An airport has enough space for 16 planes. There are 9 planes parked at the airport right now. Let X represent how many more planes can park. Well, since we can have 16, right, we can have that equal. So however many more plus what we currently have has to be less than or equal to 16, all right? And then when we go to solve it, of course, we can subtract 9 from both sides. And we're going to get x is less than or equal to 7. So they can have up to 7 more planes, all right? Less than or equal to 7 would work. All right, what about this one? Here we have Hector is building a metal sculpture in the shape of an equilateral triangle. He divides the metal bar into 3 equal pieces. He figures out each side of the triangle sculpture can be at most 9 feet long. Okay, so at most means it could be 9 or it could be less. So again, at most means that much or less. All right, so if we have that inequality and we want to solve it, less than or equal to 9, if I multiply both sides by 3, I get x is less than or equal to 27. So the perimeter can be at most, well, if it's less than or equal to 27, the most it can be is 27. All right. All right, let's skip up and see what they have for us at a little higher level here, if I can get it to go. There we go. All right. Anne picked 3 board games from her cabinet to take to a game night with her friends. She still has more than 10 board games in her cabinet, so she thinks she could bring a few more. Let X represent how many board games were in her cabinet to start. All right, so she took out 3, and she still has more than 10. Well, it doesn't say 10 or more. It says more than 10, which means 10 is not included. So here we go. She had some. She took out 3. She still has more than 10. If we put those 3 back, 10 plus 3 is 13. There were more than 13 in her cabinet to start. All right, so it looks like there's no more levels to go up. Let's do this last one, and then we're going to be done with this video on IXL practice skills on one-step inequalities. All right, a local ice cream shop has a parking lot with enough space for 18 cars. Hey, this sounds like the plane problem we did first. There are 7 right now. All right, so it has space for 18. It can include 18. All right, if it was greater than 18 right here, like it says, it'd have space for more. So this is what we want, however many we have now, or excuse me, 7 now, plus however many more we add must be less than or equal to 18. If you take those 7 away from the 18, we can add up to 11, right? Because 11 plus 7 is 18. 18 minus 7 is 11. All right, so there are the skills that we've gone over. These ones right here, solving one-step inequalities, graphing, and word problems. I have to say we did not come across any where we multiplied or divide by a negative, but I do want to remind you, if when solving an inequality, if you multiply or divide by a negative, you must reverse the inequality sign. All right, I hope this was helpful. Until next time, have a great day.